Hello and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Nanette and I'm here for another Budget With Me session here on YouTube using the software YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget, and I'm here to budget out my final October paycheck, which is $7,770.83. That's the gross amount that you see up there on the screen. And we will take it down to the net amount shortly. I also have more to budget on top of that. I did get the reimbursement funds for the recent business trip. That was $1,454.77. And then I also got the cash back of $23.56 for all of October. So I'll release those funds after I budget out the paycheck, assuming that I remember to do that, because I have been known to forget that step. Just in case I didn't say this on the last video. I probably did, but if I didn't, my end date has been confirmed. I did get the letter from HR. I signed it, and the official countdown is, I'm recording this on Halloween, and my final day will be February 13th, which is 105 calendar days. 15 weeks. If we exclude holidays and weekends, it comes to 69 work days. I have 10 to 13 or 15 PTOs that I will have accumulated by then. At the pace that my project is going, I probably won't take many of those days. So this 69 work days countdown is probably pretty accurate. I feel like there was another life update that I wanted to share with you guys, but I'm completely blanking on it, so hopefully the budget itself will tell the story. But let's go ahead and dive in. I want to try to get this recorded before the first trick-or-treaters come by. So first off is overspending, or what I like to call it, under budgeting. These are all expenses that are directly related to payroll. You'll see that there's no Social Security coming out anymore because that was maxed out on my last paycheck. So the payroll deductions come to $1,622.97. We'll cover that. And then the retirement stuff is the stock purchase plan and the HSA contribution. That comes to $981.25. Well, you might notice, or you might not, that the underfunded amount matches what is sitting in the available section. So clicking underfunded or reset available amounts works right now. I took away all the targets, and that's why that is now happening. I think I got rid of every single one of them. There may be a latent one sitting out there somewhere, but I don't think it's going to cause us any harm. So I am sitting here with $5,166.61. I'm going to be a weirdo, and for no good... No, I'm not going to do it. Yes, I am. I'm so fickle sometimes. I'm going to park the 166.61 down here in my no way to know category group. It's just kind of a holding zone for any money that I am holding for budgeting for other things. But if we go forward into November, we will see that there's very few items that are yellowing at me. Payroll stuff and retirement stuff I ignore completely until I'm done with all other budgeting. They are mostly things that are directly related to payroll, except for this one category, investments for $2,000 a month. But I'm not touching that until I cover everything else. Helping hands, what I really want to do is consider November completely cared for, because with anything that is going to roll over from October, all of these things are fine. Personal care is already overfunded. I just haven't been, my target includes getting a massage every month, which I have not been doing. So it's only covering haircuts right now, so I really need to change the target. And I think I will go ahead right now and change the target and change this to continue to make it a weekly target, but I'm just going to put $15 in for every Saturday, which will be more than enough to get a haircut every 3 weeks. And then fitness, I think, have I changed this target yet? I want to make this one $80 a month, so I'll continue to set aside, oh, that's saying refill up to. I think I'm going to refill up to 80. That's kind of a silly, I'm going to change this to a set aside another. Oh, it's right there in front of me. So I'll always be setting aside another $80 on that, and then pet sitting, the rollover is going to take care of that one. Clinic cost does need to get topped up, but I really want to, for no good reason, use this $5,000 to cover December funds. And then that second round of budgeting that we will do, I'll make sure that I top up anything that needs it in November before tinkering with putting money wherever the heck I want to put it. Okay, so moving on to December, we will make our way through the YNAB questions. The first one being, what does this money need to do before I get paid again? I'm always going to cover my stuff with the exception of that personal care. We'll tinker around with that a little bit. So let's think about that for a second. It is saying that I'm going to need $60 in the month of November. So let's do this. Let's just put 60 in there and then cover the others. The others came to $750. Okay, and then more of my stuff. The utilities is balanced billing, only I'm the one who gets to accumulate the balance. I'm not giving the utility company the money. I'm going to watch it grow during the period of time when $325 is more than the monthly bill. And then the other two are stable bills that are consistent every single month. Then we have $270 going to Papa Payback, and this $442.14 should top out and finish up funding the entire year for my son's canteen account. So yep, that takes us to the full $6,000, and we have plenty of money there to cover his needs. It looks like he'll have some carryover into next year, so that's always nice. And then all the things I will cover the cats, all the things category group, even though we might have some carryover from November. But I'm happy to let that ride over, at least temporarily. Annual stuff is going to cover subscriptions for $107.74. And then business stuff, I'm going to cover everything but my son's cell phone plan because he covers that. $129.56. And that should finish off the reality question. Moving on to stability. This is larger, less frequent spending that I need to prepare for. First step is annual bills, propane, home insurance, property taxes, solid waste, and stormwater. That comes to $224.44. And I'm going to make a mental reminder to myself that I originally saved a year's worth of home insurance thinking that I would pay it annually, and then found out that I could pay it monthly. So I'm really sitting here. What is this saying I need to do? I have the target coded as and entered as an annual, but I'm paying monthly, and I probably should. I don't know when I'll do it. I'm so fickle about changing anything in my budget. If it were somebody else's money, I would fix it and make sure that it all matched reality. But if I've got something entered in here, sometimes I just get precious about it and don't want to change. But one day, when I need some money for another category, I'll come in and I'll switch this to a monthly target for the actual amount. And if we go back to October, we could figure out what it was, but it doesn't even matter. And then I'll release the extra money from in here. Just more margin and absolute silliness, but so be it. We can be fickle. We can be weird with our money. For their stuff, gifts and Christmas is going to get a total of $202.75. I also had forgotten that I reduced my Christmas by 30%, I guess. However you want to look at it. I usually budget for $1,500, And at the beginning of this year, when I got laid off, I decided I was going to skinny it down to 1,000. And I really haven't completely made a plan for that. I could easily put money back in there because I have extra money in a lot of other categories. But I like the idea of simplifying Christmas as much as I possibly can this year, especially with the chaos that's going on in the rest of my life. Inevitable stuff is a bunch of sinking funds. I'm not going to fund the home maintenance category group right now. It has gone below the $8,000 mark that I was trying to keep it at. And why was that? I bought a box spring that I needed for a queen bed that I had recently bought at a garage sale. And I am thrilled with my new box spring. I spent way more on it than I would have expected, but the guest room is now pristine and ready for peoples. And it's one of the rooms in my house that I don't feel need any more work in it, and that is always a good feeling, especially when life has gotten a bit on top of me. So I've got a lot of undone projects, and having that one done and well worth going below. I paid in the neighborhood of 300, so I also must have gutted home maintenance for another expense. I think it was an expensive subscription that I covered for my uncle, and I will get that money reimbursed. I have no idea when those reimbursement funds will come in, but it's not going to hurt me. So all is well in my world. So in my sinking funds, I am underfunded by $747.28. So we will cover all of that and move on. For Kizzy stuff, will not need to fund pet sitting. I really wish there was an option for, well, I guess it doesn't make sense. I want to not see the yellow in here without, and I could cover it, but that's not where I want to park my money because I know how unlikely it is that I will use the $100 pet sitting fee in the month of November. So I'm just going to let that ride. Clinic costs I will top up in November, and then that will likely carry over into December. And if it doesn't, that is when I will cover that. Annual stuff, more subscriptions. These just happen to be annual ones, so they get a sinking fund. It's my YNAB and my Apple TV, total of $17.53. And then business stuff, office supplies ended up overfunded. So I will deal with that in the month of November and let that ride over. And then unplanned, I'm always going to tuck $10 away for that. Now we move on to resilience. The question is, what can I set aside for next month's spending? We are doing that right now, so no need for extra attention. For the creation question, what goals, large or small, do I want to prioritize? I am always up for fun stuff. Well, I say that. I'm not having nearly enough fun in life. I'm working too hard. But let's fund some fun stuff so that we're ready to go in the future. We'll do the $80 for fitness, $100 for garden supply. We'll do the $350 for dining out, but I'm going to, spoiler alert, I didn't use all of the funds in October. So I have some money that I may be able to release into the wild to do more exciting things for me. But we will cover that as well as the $100 for fun and adventures. So that total comes to $630.00. Their stuff is, I don't have a target on Share the Wealth. Let's come back to that, assuming that I remember to. So let's just hide everything but that as we move along. Helping Hands. The target says assign $400 every month. I have not been able to hire much help out because I've been so busy with work. It's just kind of work, eat, sleep. I do a tiny bit of socializing, and I'm not making much headway on any Helping Hand stuff. I'll leave that one open too. Let's see what else we can do with the money before we get there. The spendful stuff doesn't have any underfundedness because everything related to the renovations is all funded, even though I can't work on it yet. Early retirement needs nothing. And you know what it needs, though? It needs to be renamed. Layla with Personal Finance by Layla just did a video on sabbaticals, and I have been talking about the need for a sabbatical. Is that how you spell sabbatical? No. Is it going to spell check it and fix it for me? Yes. Okay. For a sabbatical before I make any decisions on whether my layoff turns into retirement, semi-retirement, or something else. So I really love the idea of being very intentional about this $30,000. Did I just put it in the wrong place? No, I did put it in the right place. Good, good, good. That is my sabbatical fund. So I easily have 6 months set aside. I do plan to add my severance pay at least another 12 to 18 months to this fund. I don't know that I'll take that long to decide if I'm going to be generating income any further or just living off of retirement. More than likely I will generate income. I'm not done working yet. I'm not done, but I am done. I'm pretty sure I'm done with corporate America. There's a lot about the challenges that you get to face that I do enjoy, but man, oh man, it happens to be review season and benefits season and all of that, and there's just an awful lot of admin that makes me really, really crazy. I enjoyed my years of being a contractor. Okay, so we are left with $678.57. Why don't we tuck away? What do we want to do? I think I will put 178.57 of this into Share the Wealth because did I just do the math wrong? I must have. Reverse that. 178.57. Yeah, I don't know what I entered. So now we're left with an even 500. All right, I'm not going to tuck that into investments because were I to put any money in investments, I would put it in November. And I would invest the money in November so that I get it right into the stock market so it can be working for me. There's a little bit of a life update. There was a 4,000 let's jump back to today. So we're sitting here. Let me do this real quick. Do the underfunded in here and see if there's anything. Do I want to put? I certainly don't want to put the full 500. I'm going to leave the yellows sitting out here in December because I don't think any of them mean enough to me to put this money in. I'm going to go right on back to today. I am going to go to all and I'm going to release. First up, I'm going to release the all of this money. This is reimbursement money and cashback money. So we'll put that into the ready to assign. And then I'm going to run through the budget, through all the categories real quick to see if there is anything that I want to release back into the wild. For instance, groceries, I'm going to carry that money over. Groceries, the cost of groceries is just getting crazy. Let me move the personal care. Does that make sense? Let's move the personal care to ready to assign, and then we'll double check what it looks like in October. I got my hair cut today, so let's go ahead over to October and look at that real quick. October got 90. What was it asking for? It was asking for 75. So let's change it to 75. And then I want to also add 100. That way that's what I want to do. I'll have 100 towards one massage, and then going forward, if I just use the target amount, I'll always have haircuts funded as well as that 100. Once I use the 100, I'll put another 100 in. I hope that made sense. There's a method to my madness, I promise you. Okay. Looking in more of my stuff, none of that money, all of that money gets to stay right where it's at. Fun stuff, the feed me, I think I will move this as long as, yep, I went out to the loop today, so all of my October dining out has been covered. I'll release this to ready to assign. And then I just also want to double check that one and make sure that I did put the full 350 in November. And I did. Never going to rob from Fun and Adventures if I don't absolutely have to. Gifts, Christmas, Papa Bayback. None of this needs to be up for consideration of moving. Inevitable stuff, same thing. I don't want to touch any of that. All the things, pet sitting, clinic costs is a little shy, but yeah, there's nothing. Annual stuff, business stuff, none of those are up for moving, nor is payroll stuff, retirement stuff, or spendful stuff. Okay, now we will go into November and let's see what's underfunded and see if we want to do anything about it. All right, pet sitting, no. Clinic costs, yes. What do I want to put in here? I'm going to add $9.66. I love it when I can do mental math while recording. That is delightful. So that's exactly where I want Kizzy stuff to start. Helping Hands, I'm going to round it up to 500. Nope, I am going to round it up to 400. Federal tax withholding, I do not need a target on this because my employer is taking care of this, and I already did the math, and what they're taking out monthly is going to exceed the $30,000 target. So I tried deleting this yesterday and it kept not working. So I'm just going to leave it alone because I don't want to botch the recording. That leaves us with where I can let's put 2,000 of this into the investments, and I'll get that much closer to my goal. Now I want to see that goal. Let's just go look at all my goals. Okay, so investments, I have $1,000 left. I will cover that on my next paycheck, and that will meet that goal for the year. The HSA contribution is not quite on track because I'm going to have to top up whatever didn't get taken out of one of my February paychecks. There was a snafu that I may have had something to do with, but I still want to blame it on the employer, on HR. Charitable donations, I need to donate the rest of this money, and then I probably will top this up. Number 2 funds are on track. Actually, yeah, we met that one in December. Inevitable stuff is looking fine. And then the HSA contribution, so that's the only thing that's undone. So the $94.98, I think I want to put that in Share the Wealth. $94.98. Oh, you know what I could have done though? All right, I usually forget to mention this one, but there is a 5th YNAB question, and that is flexibility. What changes do I need to make, if any? And I keep forgetting to look at that one. Although, I already mentioned on this, once I've done something in here, I am loath to change it. I think the one that I want to take a look at is the home maintenance. Let me think here. So I still have, all right, can I pull this off? Let me go over here. I might already have it filtered. I do not. So if I go to orange and then go to, well, it's probably all of these except for those last 2 at the bottom. Okie dokie. So if well, let's do this differently. All of these reimbursements will be coming in once I'm able to. These are all things that I've covered for my uncle, so I have another almost $950 of reimbursements pending that will be handled within the next few weeks. I'm going to say by the end of the year. It may take a little bit longer. It's not going to hurt me any, so no big deal. If I consider that $950 as part of the home maintenance, then I would be north of the $8,000 that I was trying to be. And even if I didn't, if we go back into the creation question and we look at the spendful stuff, I'm sitting here with $14,000 towards all of these renovation costs that I will not be incurring until life simplifies a little bit. It may be, I may not even pursue any of these until I actually finish this employment. So I think I'm not going to change anything, but it is always a good thing to ask. Oops, I want to go back to all. It's always a good thing to ask before you finish up your budgeting session if you do need to make any changes. I think that's going to do it for us today. If you like this content, please remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions about the weird, wacky ways that I handle my money, feel free to ask. I'm pretty much an open book, and I'm certainly open to questions and challenges to what you see me doing here. I will get paid again on the 15th. And let's look at what day of the month that is. Oh, that's a Saturday. There's a good chance that I will be a little bit more timely with my next video and get it out more quickly. Either way, I hope that you are currently having a very happy Halloween. As I record this, it won't get uploaded until tomorrow. So I hope you had a very happy Halloween and are enjoying your weekend as you watch this. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by. Bye now.